Yo lads, how's it going? And welcome back to a brand new video here today. Today we're going to be explaining how the transfer market works on the beta, because I know a lot of you guys that aren't playing the beta, and even some that are playing the beta, still don't understand how the transfer market works, and it is very different from the current game that we have. So it is expected that this transfer market is going to go over into season 6. So whilst you're in the beta, I'm going to try and give you a head start for when we go into the new season, how you can make coins early on, how you can sell players, how you can buy players, etc, etc. If the video does help you out, as always, there's timestamps in the description of when you might want to watch a certain part of the video. And if it does help you, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and all that good stuff. Again, I appreciate all the support over on the YouTube channel so far. I do appreciate it a lot. No waffling. I'm just going to go straight into explaining. So, first of all, it is important to note that the transfer market is now a player-to-player basis, which means there's no auction bot when you go to sell a player. It doesn't get bought through the auction bot and then get relisted onto your market. If you buy a player, you are buying directly from someone else in the world. And then it's also important to note that there is a 10% commission after completing a sale, which is 10% tax. But whatever you sell the player for, you're going to get a 10% discount on that when claiming your coins. One of the main important things to notice is the current price, lowest price, and highest price. This is easy ways to tell if your player is going to sell. The current price is whatever the price that someone is bidding on this card. The lowest price and the highest price is the price range that you can list that card for. So on this Aspas, his current price is 676k, his lowest price is 676k, and his highest price is nearly 800k. If I wanted to sell this card, I can now see that there's a sale quantity of 491 at one price range. There's 7 other people that have listed it at 777. I'll explain that in a little bit more detail in a second. Also, something else on here, which is a new feature, is the My Watchlist section. If you click on a player that you see in someone else's team that you like, you can press that star icon, and then it gets added to the watch list, so you can just immediately buy that player. You don't have to continuously go to search and look for the player. Okay, I do like this one. And then if you want to remove it, you just remove the star, and then bang, he will end up going there after you refresh the page. The orders tab is what you are listing on the market. It shows the price that you are selling it, and these cards can be listed for as long as you can until you want to take them down. So I've had this list sales up since day 1 of the beta, and as you can see right now, there's 26 people listing this card at 380k. I am in one of these 26 players. If I wanted to remove it, all I have to do is click the X icon, and it takes him off the transfer market. But note, you can only look at buying and selling 25 total cards, which is a bit of a madness in my opinion. We're going to put up Vizca. He has 494 players listing him at his lowest price. If I sell him with the first card, and then with my second card I also sell him again, they go separately. So if you list 2 cards for the same price, that's going to take up 2 orders, which is interesting. The graph below the player is the prices that the players end up selling for. So when the beta came out at the start of last week, he was 3 million. He's had lows of 1.5 million, but now his price range is up to 2.8. So in terms of the only way of making coins right now is through investments. And this is actually a very good example. Here, I'm going to explain what the sale quantity and purchase quantity are. Sale quantity is how many people have listed that card for that exact price. And the purchase quantity is how many people are waiting to buy the card again at that exact price. So as you can see right here, there's 6 purchase quantity of 2.53 million for Mbappe, but then there's 15 people who have listed this card at 2.85 million. So if I was to put in an offer for this Mbappe right now and I have the coins, I wouldn't get the card instantly. I'd have to wait for whoever was the first out of them 15 people to list the Mbappe for 2.85 million to claim their coins, and then I'd get my player. However, if I was looking to sell the Mbappe and I listed him for 2.53 million, I would instantly get my coins because there's 6 people waiting in the queue to buy that card for 2.5 million. Whoever was the first guy to put in the purchase quantity of 2.53 million would get that card instantly after I've claimed my sale. So there's no buy now option, there's no bidding option anymore in the game. So when listing your cards, you've got to check how many people have listed this card at this same price. So as you can see, I currently have this Vazquez selling at 487k. If I click on resell, I can see there's 175 people listed him for his lowest price of 438k. If I was to list this Vazquez now for 438k, I would be 176th in the queue. So if I wanted my Vazquez to sell, I'd have to wait for 176 Lucas Vazquez's to be bought, and then mine would finally sell. But I can jump the queue by waiting for the price range to drop down and being first to that. So if his price range went down to 400k and there was no one that has noticed that his price range dropped, I listed it for 400k. I would only have to wait for one person to buy it. But It depends on how many people beat me to it. Price ranges can fluctuate a lot, and you can see that via the graph. So when this Sule came out, he was 650k. He's now 215k, and I have him up for 280. The sale quantity is the lowest 3 prices that someone has listed the card for, and then the purchase quantity is the highest 3 prices that someone's willing to buy a card for. So if I was to resell this Sule now, I will be 13th in the queue. I'd have to wait for 12 Sules to sell for mine to be then first in the queue. It's now a queuing system, not who's the quickest to buy it. So the chances are, if the current price matches the lowest price, that card is not going to sell. You're going to have to wait for the price range to drop. But players are moving at different prices, and price ranges change differently for different players. It depends on the supply, but then it also takes EA longer to update them. But the reason why this is a really bad addition in the game is only the players in demand are going to sell. So no one wants this Perisic right now, no one wants the Correa, no one wants Kuleveski, because they're all too low rated, so their demand is useless right now. And not to mention the ridiculously overpriced an 81 card being at 460k, and then you have Masters, who are pretty much 1 million or 2 million, depending on the card. Right, here's the reason why it's not going to work in the official game, or at least how I think it's not going to work. 1, there's going to be absolutely no coin methods unless you are investing in a card. So I bought this Di Maria about 2 days ago for about 700k, because I knew that player prices for the highest rated players in each position were rising. And the reason why it's now impossible to make coins, if I was to buy this player at 880k and sell Di Maria for 950k, after tax, I would be losing 95,000 coins. That's if I sold it at 950k. Take away 95k from 950k, that leaves you at 855k. So I'd still be losing 35k on this card, even if I bought it for minimum price and sold it for maximum price on that price range. Now, if you're thinking of a card that you buy off the market and then you look to sell it 3 months down the line with the way FIFA Mobile works, that price is just going to plummet. That's because the demand for that player comes down, which means there's going to be more supply on the market of people trying to sell him, so the price range is just going to drop. The only way you're going to be able to make coins is early game when you're investing or packing someone that's very good and in demand. I'll put up some examples of when I packed 110 Sancho in the Korean version of the game. He was 17 million coins. Now, if I go to sell that card, he's much less, and it's been 2 weeks since I packed him. You're basically just going to get lucky depending on the demand. So the game is now going to become luck-based based off what you get out of an event. So if we think of the game in an event style, the full release, usually we get like a guaranteed player from a pack and then a player wheel section. Unless that player is in demand, the price range is going to start ridiculously high and then take ages to drop before you're able to sell it. Because even if we look right now, this Di Maria being 860k for an 87 rated card, there's an 83 Boateng, which is 700k. No one's going to buy this card at this price. He had lows of 665, but then his price range has gone up, and there's 267 people waiting to sell him. And that's the beta. Imagine that when the full game is out. And then we also look here. The Lascelles 400k, but an Elite is 310k. These gold cards haven't budged since the release of the game. Now, if we think of this in terms of an SBC, say you may need a French midfielder that's a gold card. Now, if this card goes extinct and you need these type of players for the SBCs, just imagine the queue that you're going to be in waiting to buy the player. So, for example, on this Mbappe, the 5th person who put in a bid for 2.5 million coins has to wait for 5 people to list the card for that exact price. Otherwise, it just goes in the sale quantity. So imagine that if there's a really in-demand player for an SBC, you could be waiting for hundreds of the same card to be listed. This whole market system is a big worry for the new release of the game. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like this new market system, or do you prefer the bot market? It's going to be very, very hard to sell players who are out of demand in the new game. Hope this video helped you out. Again, if it did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and all that good stuff. If there was anything that I didn't include in this video that you think you know about the market which should have been included in this video, make sure you leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions, also leave them in the comments below. I'll try and answer any thoughts that you have. And until my next video, I will catch you a little bit later. Till then, stay sick, stay epic. Peace. Adios.